Hello. I don't know if everything's working right now. Just testing a bunch of things. Let's see. So yeah, I thought I'd test my my settings. See who joins. It'll probably just be a very short little stream. See how if this all works. Because some of you know I did some streaming, some game streaming before, and it was pretty fun. And I thought, hey, now that I have this Roland MC-101, that is also an audio interface, I could just hook up a USB cable and just send the audio to OBS and mix it with my mic audio. And I'm actually using my smartphone as a makeshift webcam, which works remarkably well. I just hope there's not too much latency because it's connected over Wi-Fi. It's a bit weird. But yeah. Let's see if I can actually find this stream on YouTube so I can see if it's actually live. Because before I'm live, I never get like a link to you're streaming here. It's always a bit odd. Yep, seems to be audio. Awesome. Ooh, video quality is pretty shitty though, but oh well. What you gonna do? So yeah, I was working on this thing here. How are the audio levels, by the way? I'm pretty sure the audio is probably too loud. I mean the MC-101 is probably better. I wish I could boost my microphone a bit. It's always on the soft side. So yeah, I was working on this thing back when I just bought my Novation Mono Station, really rad little thing. But I kind of moved that project to this thing. Of course, I just had to remake it. It's not like you can just move files across them, but. And then I realized that this thing opens a lot of possibilities, so that's really cool. So yeah, basically I had this little sequence here. Make it a bit louder. And if I add a bunch of delay, it gets a nice rhythmic effect. And then I can play with the decay and play with the cutoff and add a whole load of reverb for the nice spacious effect. I like that. And I made a bunch of variations. And another variation. Maybe lower the delay just a bit for this one. Maybe open the filter and the decay a bit to get a bit more of a dramatic effect. Lots of reverb, lots of bright. And the final one. Basically the same but with more bass notes. I thought it sounded cool. So what's cool about the MC-101, of course you got 4 tracks. So I added another track with the same sequences. So that's on channel 3. And here I have a very different sound. It's a synth sound, but it kind of sounds like a guitar pluck, which I really like. Of course I can tweak that too. I like it a bit muted. Of course I can drown this in effects too. And it's an octave higher. So combined, make sure that both of these are playing the same pattern. And then you can combine the variations. So the plucky sound I'll have playing the basic pattern, and the other one I'll have playing this pattern. Make the pluck a bit brighter. So yeah, pretty addicted to the story. It's really awesome. And of course I can add some pads if I want. I already selected the pad sound, I think. For even more dramaticness, add a bit of reverb. So yeah, that's recorded super simple on bass or pad. It's a bit of a shame that you don't have a count in. It's very hard to start recording at the one. You always gotta let it loop around. Or I often just start on the second note. Feels like less wasted time. See if this timing was a bit okay. Yeah, there's one that was a bit early, but it's fine. I can nudge it back like 99% of one step, if that makes sense. So it's close enough. And of course I can add a fourth track. I don't think I have anything on there except just a sawtooth. So let's turn this into a little bit of an improvised jam. So channel 2, clip 1, channel 3, clip 1 to start with. I'll lower the decay, I'll lower the filter even more, and the delay. Let's see what those settings are. Yeah, that'll do. So yeah, something like that. I'll probably work that out a bit more and make it a bit more polished, and maybe I'll record it as a not so live jam for YouTube. Could be fun. So yeah, by the way, if the audio levels are shitty, please let me know. Typically my mic audio is a bit low. That's probably something I can do to fix that. So yeah, I really been enjoying playing with this MC-101. It is such a fantastic thing. It's not super intuitive if you're new to this kind of stuff, maybe, but I was pretty surprised. It didn't take me all that long to get the hang of it. So yeah, I've honed it for 8-9 days, and I've already made a buttload of projects. Some will actually possibly work out, some that are just fun little experiments. Like, I found this really interesting sound, and it inspired me to make some genre that's not even slightly like what I normally do, but like this dancey clubby thing. It was fun to make, but I wouldn't know where to go from here. That's fun about this thing. I can just save thousands of these projects, and maybe I'll get some inspiration to continue with it at some point, and it's just there sitting. So when I'm ever bored, I'll just load a project, and maybe I'll be like, oh shit, I know what to do with this now. There's an old project I made a video about way back on Sonic Pi. I thought I'd work it out here, but I haven't made all that much progress with it. Those road sounds on this thing are delicious. Yeah, this thing has like 3,800. Oh, wait for 3,800 presets, so plenty of sounds to go around. Lots of vintage electric pianos. Love that stuff. Ooh, way phasey. There might be a bit too much. There's this one reverse sound that's really awesome, like a very slow attack, makes it sound very spacious. Some really bright ones, whirly. Let's see if I can find that one. I think it was just called like back or backwards or back something, so it should be easy enough to find. There's so many of them. Yeah, back EP. Very spacey. I love this. Just a bit annoying that the attack is so slow that when I mix in the drums now, everything seems out of time. It takes so long for the piano sound to get to a volume that it sounds way delayed. That's a bit of a pain. I gotta nudge everything over to make this align. Maybe. Oh crap, I didn't save it. Happens all the time. I choose a sound and I don't save it, and I go to another menu and I lose it. Can I pitch this up an octave? Maybe a bit much. Some really lo-fi pianos. Of course, some FM pianos. 60s E piano. Kind of whirly-ish. Ooh, this was nice. I am a sucker for electric pianos. Added some bass. Just a normal electric bass. And I didn't save it. Damn it. There we go. Didn't really lose it though. I do want to do something with this bass line, make it a bit more interesting maybe. Although I'd also like the mellowness. Oh, I see there's possibly some comments. There we go. Is this turning into an ASMR channel? Oh, thanks, man. Oh, audio from the MC-101 could be a bit louder. Good to know. Yeah, it does need a funky sound. I'm just trying to figure out how to I can link all these things to a scale, but I'm not quite sure how I can choose a major scale here, but I'm not sure how to set it to a G. Maybe, let's see if this works. A nice fat EP sound. I thought that was really cool. I'm not much of a solo player, but with the scale mode, everything works kinda. Oh shit, I'm recording. Did not. There we go. Oh yeah, the tremolo is going from left to right on the chords. That's a very spacey thing. ping pong delay. That could also work. Let's see if I can add some funky, some ping pong delay to the lead piano. Should be able to add some delay send 50%, and I go to multi effects delay. Let's see if I actually have what kind of delays I have. I have chorus, it's definitely a delay. Two tap band delay. Not sure what these things are. Oh, I don't know if I have a ping pong delay. That would be cool, but I can sync it with the rhythm. But yeah, I'm not sure. I should look into these delays. I think there should be a ping pong delay somewhere. Red means recording. Yeah. Under this light, it's sometimes a bit. You can see this also starts blinking, so you can see it's recording. But it's also easy to just whoop, nudge it if you miss the C. So yeah, this is what I've spent most of my time doing. Oh, something else with an electric piano, apparently. I don't even remember that. Yeah, this sounds familiar. I mean, it ought to be, but also one of those projects that were fun to mess with at the time, and now, no idea where to go from there. So many cool sounds in here. I found this under the mallets. Whoa. Vibraphone. Nice. Xylophone, always good. Those low notes sound really wonky though. How many projects can you save on it? Yeah. It has an SD card in the back, like a full-size SD card, because micro SDs you would lose on stage. I made a bunch of projects. They're about 10 megabytes each. So you could save 800 projects on an 8 gig card. Well, I also have some 20 MB projects. And each project can have 4 tracks. And every track can have 16 clips, but that's basically 16 sequences that can all be 8 bars long. And I can say play sequence 2 on this track, and sequence 1 on that track, and sequence 4 on that track, and that combination of stuff you can save to a scene. You gotta hold this long, and then you have 8 scenes in a project. So basically, some hundreds of projects with 8 scenes. A scene is basically like a session in the circuit, and a clip is basically like a sequence in the circuit. And you can also chain them, if that makes sense. But yeah, I gotta say, it is not nearly as intuitive as the circuit, but it's not that bad. It's pretty good. Let's see what else I got here. Ah yeah, I also made this on the Novation Mono Station. Yeah. Man, I love the sound of this synthesizer, which just... I don't think I even tweaked it slightly. Oh, I guess I did +4 on the cutoff. So, the sounds on here are so good. I just don't care too much about most of the drum sounds. By the way, when I was streaming games, I thought there was quite a lot of noise in the microphone. Is it any better now that there's constantly music going around? Yeah, like a really tense moment before you encounter a lot of enemies or something, and you gotta feel a bit anxious. Mono Station MC-101 jam session. Interesting. I don't know if I could get everything in frame. It's a real pain in the ass. I got my microphone right here out of the screen, and I got my keyboard here, and I gotta find a place to put the Mono Station, and it's a really cramped ass desk. It's a bit of a bummer. Tyrion vibes. And then let's do a quick Google. Tyrion gameplay. I guess that's an old game. Nice. Whoa. Oh, I know that game. Oh man, that brings back memories. I didn't do a whole of those top-down scroller game things, but that's really cool. Let's see if I can get the chat back. Yeah. Oh yeah, I found another Bauke. You might know. What's he called? Woody's Piano Shack. He does a lot of gear reviews too. He reviewed the bigger brother, the MC-101, and he had that really cool. He demonstrated these chords playing this sound. I was like, oh my god, that sounds so good. So I just had to steal it, and I should turn this into some synthwave goodness. Put like a bit of a driven bass under it. Boom, 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 boom. Really gotta change that kick bass sound though. That's not great in this context. Yeah. The 707 is really nice though. Yeah, this sounds tasty. So many good sounds in here. But when you do have a sound, you can't tweak it all that much. That's a bit of a bummer, but there's enough control. You could filter it a bit, change the envelope. Alright, this was probably the first sequence I made. Oh. Should probably change that sound on the lead. It's so cheesy. I never know what to do for a lead sound. Really for the going the massive snare. Nope. I kind of want to make it even bigger, but even more reverb. something electric guitar-ish. Yeah, I'll have a look. Oh, for the lead or for in general? Either way, I'll have a look. See if I can get the even longer decay maybe. You can change the decay, but if the sample's over, it's not gonna like add anything to it. I don't know if that actually works. Attack, decay offset, release offset. Nah. That's a bummer. I'll have a look at the guitars. There should be... Nope. Back. Sound. Presets. Started guitar. Oh wow, it has no sustain. I'm holding the... But it just stops. That's kinda weird. Sounds like a very old-timey... wait. I tweaked the sound and now it's adding those settings to every other patch. All these guitar sounds were really over the top. Oof, that was a... Yeah, holy shit. Whoa. That's badass. Oh. Lost the sound again. That sounds sick. What else we got? Preset, just a guitar. Rock your socks. The main thing that we do is to rock your socks off. Oof, that was hella bright. Oh nice, some strummy sounds, some very short, muted. I could probably fine tune it to turn down the distortion, but I'm there we go, an overdriven guitar instead of full on distortion. That's usable. I don't play a lot of leads, so. Ooh, some chorus. There's so much. Oh, just feedback. Of course, there's also electric guitar. It's awfully silent though. Oh, decay is all the way down again. thought I cancelled that, but... yeah, you can change the attack. That's pretty cool. Then you get that violin-y sound. Add a bit of attack. Negative attack. Whoa, shit. Why is it freaking out like that? Oh, it stopped freaking out. Whoa, if I go low down, it becomes power chord, and if I go past a certain point, it becomes lead. Which makes sense, but I didn't expect that. That's weird. Kinda neat. Of course, I forgot the sound again, that's why I got this metal axe again. I just had a jazz guitar. But the jazz guitar is silent again. Come on. So yeah, it's got a few quirks. String bending. Oh. I can use this touch strip on the key step for some vibrato. But the transpose doesn't do anything right now. That's surprising. I don't know if I have to make a setting. I thought it should work. I expected it, but I guess I hadn't tried before. And if I change the attack on this one, ooh, that's nice and smooth. It kind of reminds me of those old Melotrons. It's a bit much. Those Melotrons were keyboard instruments that instead of samples, they use tiny strips of magnetic tape, like audio tape, and they would have one piece of tape for every key, but they would also always have this very slow attack because the tape would have to get going, and they'd have like flute sounds. If you know the song, I think it's Strawberry Fields from the Beatles, they use a mellotron in there. Let's see if that's right. Yeah, sounds extremely lo-fi. I really dig that sound. Luckily, you can just emulate that shit now, because whew, those things must be expensive if you get a working one. It's basically a tape head and a piece of tape and a cartridge and everything for every key. And if you want to change the sound, then you just gotta change 60 pieces of tape or something. It's a ridiculous instrument, but it's so cool. I wonder if there's a Mellotron sound in here. That would... I know there should be Roland instruments that do have a Mellotron sound. Sound presets. But there's like, yeah, 3,800 sounds, which is awesome, but also sometimes like, oof, I don't even know what to look for. Oh, attack is still very low. Or high, I guess, technically, I don't know. That's hella cheesy. Ooh, Ocarina Echo. That's awesome. Some instant Zelda. Sadly, I don't know the Zelda tunes. I barely played any Legend of Zelda games. I know, mortal sin as a gamer. Saxophones, flutes, wind instruments. Ooh, oboe. Neato. Clarinets, chamber winds, woodwinds, oboe, bassoon. I think. Whoa. Ensemble brass section. Oh, nice. Oh shit! I got a phone call incoming. I hope that doesn't mess with the stream because my phone is also my webcam. So if the screen's vibrating. Oh, neato. I don't see me ever using this, but it's fun that it's there. Ooh, acoustic bass. Whoa. Ooh, clavinets and stuff. Noise. I haven't messed with these yet. I should really learn some clavinet tunes, like some interesting, like Stevie Wonder's Superstition is a great clavinet song. It's so cool, but so hard to play. I'm not great as a keyboardist. But clavinets are instant funk. Harpsichord. Ooh, old school. $3,800 live streams, one for each sound. That should be fun. And here we have the kick drum. Boom, 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 boom. Goodbye. I don't know if they count like individual drum sounds as. I think there's actually 3,800 preset sounds like to playable with the keyboard. And then what was that? Is that the part? Don't know. And yeah, I think they didn't count the drums. Let's see if I got anything. Whoa, nuts. I don't want to save. I want to load. Did I have anything else interesting? Getting called again. I almost wonder if it's now playing. Oh, yeah. Load. I'll call them back in like I don't know. I was gonna stop in like 10 minutes because I gotta do some chores and I'll call him back then. So I found this really cool demonstration from the Korg MS-20 and I sampled a bit of it. It sounds really rad. Yeah, let's turn off those effects. Reverse off, reverb gone. And also remove the reverb. I thought this was such a cool sounding thing. It's a sample and hold going to the filter. So you get a random filter position and you get this rhythmic effect. I really want that synth at some point, but so I just sampled a bit. I thought let's add a whole lot of delay and even more reverb. And now I can hit record, and here I got the panning from left to right, and I can record all those knob movements into a pattern for a bit of spaciness. You can of course also add tremolo, and here I got a reverse. Doomquake, yeah, has that very filthy, spooky vibe to it. I love it. I have synthesizers that can do the same thing technically, but they just sound slightly different and it's not as nasty sounding as this. Oh yeah, and I think I added some bass. How long have I actually been streaming? Can I actually see that somewhere? I was just gonna do a 10-minute test to see if everything works and the audio was okay, but yeah, it's been an hour. Anything else interesting? Oh yeah, I tried some weirdness. I was like, fuck scales and theory, I just want to make, I don't know. I heard some odd atonal music and I was like, ooh, I want to try that. I don't know if it follows like music theory and scales and stuff, and if it makes sense. And it's basically an upright bass layered with a piano playing the same, and a jazzy drum kit. Oh, and of course I had to mess with polyrhythms. Nasty acid sound. Yeah, I dig that. TD3 like acid sounds. That's a bit you would expect anything from a Roland with 101 or whatever to have like 303 types of sound, but let's start a new project because I just loaded something with only drum tracks. So track 2, tone, and then I go to like bass sounds, I guess, because it's a bass synth bass, and it does have some distorted 808 bass. That's a drum machine, but those distorted kick drums can sound really heavy. 101 bass. Oh, that's the SH-101. That's more of a melodic synthesizer. And there should be some 303 sounds hidden in here somewhere. Boop, SLTB? Nah, that's not it. No, that's way too melodical. R&B bass, Moog sounds. reasonable Moog sounds in there. Of course, they call it MG bass because Moog is trademarked. 106 FM bass, sweep bass, Juno sounds, all sorts of classic Roland. TB bass 1. Wait. Yeah, that's a really squelchy TB. Oh, distorted TB dist bass. That's filthy. Oh. Gotta love me some deep house basses. Muffle bass. So yeah, I already went through the TB basses. Yeah, TB bass 1, TB bass 2, TB distorted bass 1 and 2, for TB. I don't know how your typical TB sequence. Let's just go to sequencer, step record. No, that probably sounds awful, but it's. I mean, it's 303-ish, but you can do rests, but you can do like accents. So that's a bit weird. That's an odd omission. So yeah, this is patch 1, sound 2, and of course you can. You can lower the cutoff, and because it's not just sample based. Okay. That does sound like a 303. That sounds pretty like the typical wet filter sound. The pads are actually knobs. What do you like here you have 4 buttons, then 4 pads, then 16 pads, bunch of button pads, whatever you want to call them. You can't really do, and these are sliders. Let's change the sequencer. Not that much better, but yeah, okay, I gotta admit it has a pretty good 303, except you can't do slides. Well, maybe you can do slides if you just tie 2 notes together, and there's no accents, but I guess you can just make single steps louder than others. So I think this could be a pretty reasonable 303, and you definitely got all the 808, 909, 707, 606, 626, 727, all those classic drum sounds. Even the CR78, the weird vintage thing that I sent you a video about the other day. Oh, like that. Yeah, these buttons. On the 707, you have those buttons that don't move. They are pressure sensitive on the 707, but they don't physically move. On the 101, they do physically move, but you have no pressure sensitivity, which is a bit of a shame. So you kind of need a keyboard for expressive playing, or like drum pads, or you gotta program in the velocity for every step, which is a bit of a pain. So yeah, it's an odd trade-off, but I kind of like these movement pads. My first drum machine had those, so that's just what I always got used to. And it doesn't bother me that the Mono Station doesn't have it, but yeah, I kind of like it. It's probably, if they're stiffer, it's probably for very fast playing a bit more precise if they don't move, but so thirsty. Okay, I'll be playing a whole lot with 303 sounds tonight, I think. While we're here, damn it, I lost the sound again. There, it's back. Yeah. That's some proper acid stuff. Not the bass line necessarily, but the sound. So can I... I have some other parameters that I don't really know exactly what they are. I think I should be able to add distortion, but I'm not sure where the I'm not sure what those effects are. I know there's a shitload of effects, but right now I can't remember. I just used delay and the reverb a whole lot. Blade. Yeah. I don't know. There's so much stuff in here. Here's some effects. Amp simulation. But I'm not sure if this is for... How did I get here? I'll pause. Maybe that makes sense. Sometimes when you play, you have a few options less than when it stopped. So then I'll go to tone edit, and I'll go to multi-effects, and I'll go to compressor limiter, sustainer, transient, gate, delay. Oh, here's more delays. Reverse delay, noise. I love reverse delay. But I'm getting distracted already. I want some filthy... Ooh, bit crush. That's filthy. Bit shifts. Overdrive into chorus, overdrive into flanger, overdrive into delay, distortion into chorus. Distortion flanger, distortion delay. Ottawa. There has to be distortion in here. Roland / boss has so many effects. I guess I can just take like a distortion into chorus and then turn the chorus off. Yeah, turn the chorus off. Lots of options there in the end. I don't know. It's probably not your typical acid drums, but I'm not that big of an acid head. Fun to experiment with, though. I could see myself trying a whole lot of styles out. There's also some really typical, overly bright and short and sharp house pianos that could be fun to mess with. And all sorts of goodness. But yeah, I'm getting way distracted. I was actually gonna do some chores around the home. I got so much old paper I should get rid of. And I gotta go for all of it looking for, like, social security numbers and stuff, and making sure that's all blacked out before I throw it away. Because I don't want people stealing my identity and shit. Let's see if I have one more interesting thing before I go. I don't know if this was any good, but we'll find out soon enough. Where's my mouse at? There. I really like the string sounds in this thing. What's going on here? This should be a violin. Whoa. I don't know. I gotta find some really sad and serious melody to go over this. Maybe take a bit of the I may have accidentally like ripped off from the original Doom soundtrack, especially this bass was in one of those tracks from the original Doom soundtrack. I don't know what the plucky sound on top did for melody. I should look that up. God, I love the original Doom soundtrack. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a day. Thanks for watching, guys, and I don't know if there were actually more people watching or just Jacob and Bauko. Either way, thanks for watching. I'll probably be doing this more often. This was fun. It's a bit cramped as hell on my desk, and I can, well, this works. Maybe next time I'll even add the circuit mono station. Now I kind of wish I had like an audio interface and mixer combination, so I can add some other stuff to the mix. But well. For now, I'm kind of broke, and this will have to do. It's already a pretty nice, small little setup. So yeah, I'll oh, in case you hadn't realized, I know you guys both personally, so I'll talk to you both on Steam. Oh, by the way, you both play Scrap Mechanic. If you're ever looking for someone to play with. But yeah, talk to you guys later. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been too long, man. But yeah, bye bye.